Hello and welcome to the wildcard week edition of Rundown. Um, it's just me at the moment. I don't know where Oz is. He hasn't. I've messaged him. He hasn't responded to that. Usually pretty good. Well, he has been for the last few weeks. So yeah, you're stuck with me until he joins. Maybe he won't. It was always going to be a short show anyway today. Simply because there's not so many games to talk about. But I do have a I do have a couple of talking points that I wanted to sort of go through, and it's a shame that Oz isn't here. He's ruined the format of the show. Um, hey, Alicia said hello. Hello. Yeah, so I'll try to hold the fort without him. We'll see. What I'll probably do is make it a bit more interactive in terms of instead of asking him the question to I suppose I ask you and talk through the topics. So yeah, so we only had 6 games yesterday, all Prem, so that was exciting. There was some good stuff. Um, Evening Night Train. Don't know who that is, but thanks for being here. I was actually at the Warriors Aztecs game. It was awesome. So I'm looking forward to talking about that. There was just so much in it. And I think just looking at the score alone, you'd sort of know that it was a good game. Hi Tammy. Um yeah, so the topic I want to talk about, and I know what's going to happen here. I'm going to talk through it all. Hi Tony, and then Oz is going to join, and then I have to go through the whole thing again. Hello Gary. Um which really annoys me. Made me want to sort of wait a little bit longer to start, but then thought, well, what if he doesn't turn up? So yeah, we'll see. He still hasn't looked at my message. I can see on WhatsApp. So yeah, if you see me looking up, that's me looking at WhatsApp, which is on the screen above. Um anyway, so yeah, the thing that uh I wanted to talk about, or I want to talk about, and certainly hear different people's views on. And I didn't realize there was a situation like this until yesterday. I thought that the Leicester Panthers versus the Merseyside Nighthawks was a game of loser goes down, winner stays up. Uh, he should get relegated for a forfeit. Yeah. Um, and it's actually a lot more complicated than that. Merseyside won, so they won the game 36-6. I believe they also have the head to head over the Panthers. I'm going to double check that right now, actually, so that I'm not talking out my ass, but I'm fairly sure they do. I remember checking it before. Yeah, so the Panthers beat the Nighthawks first time round, but only by a 6-point margin. Obviously, the Nighthawks won by a 30-point margin yesterday, so they carry a 24-point head-to-head differential in their favour. Give me 2 minutes and I'll be on. Oh, cool. Tebs will join in the absence of Oz, which is cool. I didn't even think to message Tebs. I like to just sort of leave him. He's like my weekend guy. uh Tony said yes, they do. Depends on BAFA decision of the game not played. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to get to. I want to talk through the different scenarios of it. So essentially the way that I look at, well, I think there's the rules way, there's a fair way, um and there's sort of an unfair way, and it would be interesting. Like there's sort of 3 outcomes, right? But yeah, I'll wait until Tebs comes on and then I'll articulate it all to him. I think he'll probably know about it anyway, but be good to sort of like air it out, make sure all the questions and answered, and I haven't made any assumptions. Gary's asked a question: what streams have you got for the playoffs? Yeah, thanks. Let me just have a look. So again, I'm not talking out of turn. So we've got this coming weekend. We've got London Olympians versus the Rushmore Knights. I'll be at that game, and then Tebs will be at the London Blitz B versus the Bournemouth Bobcats. So that's it. But both games in London, we always list the home team first, right? So London Blitz B are the home team, hosting Bournemouth Bobcats, and London Olympians are hosting the Rushmore Knights. So that, yeah, and then what we've also secured already is a quarter-final game the week after, with Herefordshire Cheetahs playing either or the winner of game 3, which is the Olympians and the Knights. So whoever wins that game, we get to go and watch them the following week against the Cheetahs. So we've got that booked in. We don't have anything for the semis. We would have done Aztecs if they were at home for the semis, but they're away in Manchester. We did have a player from Manchester contact us today, ask us about it, but someone said Hearts. I mean, are they called the Hearts, not the Hertfordshire Cheetahs? What did I say? People picking me up on something. Sorry. Let me have a look. Ted, you a silhouette, mate.
Yeah, give me one second. Let me turn the light on. I didn't think it'd be that bad.
Voice distortion things.
What? Why is it
They're
done
like
it? There we go. Okay,
a
there
victim.
We go. Yeah,
Hertfordshire. You said Herefordshire. Did
I
say
Hereford?
Hereford?
Character in a video game you need to unlock.
Sorry, I said Hereford. Yeah. We've unlocked Tebs. Welcome to the.
We've unlocked Tebs.
Sorry, I said the wrong name. I didn't realise I did that. Thanks for picking me up. But I did mean Hertfordshire Cheetahs. I was looking. It says Hertfordshire on the sheet that I'm looking at, or the screen I'm looking at. I was just going through our playoff plans. So Tebs
can't wait to go to Finsbury Park.
Yeah, I know. It's not. Well, I think Finsbury Park and wherever it is that the Olympians play, they're similar. They're similar places to get to and park and all that sort of stuff. Actually, the O's is a bit better for parking, I must admit.
Thanks, mate.
But in Finsbury, I think you'll be able to take liberties and drive right up to the gate and say, "Oh, I've got to unload. I'm a media personality."
It's weird. It's weird you say that, Steve, because I've heard nothing but the contrary. I've heard I'm going to have to park about 20 minutes walk away.
Nah. Leave it with me. Anyway,
leave it with me. That's all that matters.
Yeah. So Gary's answered they're both 2 p.m. Yeah, I believe they're both 2 p.m. kickoffs. Gary, I need to double check that. We always post about it on a Wednesday, typically a Wednesday before the game, and that's usually when I check the time for the kickoff. But yeah, and then after that, so the semi-final week, someone from the Manchester Titans asked us if we could stream, and I was like, well, if it's possible, we can, but we need someone official from the club because the club didn't want us to stream any games this year. So I think they've got that the concern of, if we stream a game, everyone knows our dirty tricks, which I never understand.
I'll tell you what. I mean, I'm up for the journey. Take the old Tebbit wagon up to.
Yeah, well, yeah. Do you know what? If we did that game, I'd probably do it with you. And then we'd have Mike doing the other game, which would be either London Olympians, Rushmore Knights, or Hertfordshire Cheetahs at home, and we would go to their ground and film the semi. But yeah, so all of those are in a nice travelable distance for Mike. So yeah, that's probably what we'd do. But the Manchester Titans thing is, I think, not going to happen based on they turned us down in pre-season when we tried to book a couple of games with them. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, beyond that, so September 3rd will be our last weekend of live stream in the semi-finals, because after that's the finals and we don't do the finals. So yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe this time next year we'll see. Anyway, to Tebs, I was just explaining a situation that I want you to. I want to sort of lay it all out, the different eventualities, and I want to hear what you think is what your take is. What's the right thing to do? What do you think will happen? Right. So this is. I don't know if you're aware of this, but in the Prem North, there's a bit of a situation on regarding who should get relegated. And I don't know if you're aware of that.
Ah. I've seen some relating to.
So do you want me to explain? I will explain. So
Please.
in fourth, fifth, and sixth, so the bottom half of the table, the bottom three, East Kilbride in fourth with a record of 3 and 6. Leicester Panthers in fifth with a record of 1 and 8. So you would have guessed already, both of those teams have only played 9 games. And the Merseyside Nighthawks have a record of 1 and 9. So they've played 10 games. Now, so the game that wasn't played was between East Kilbride and Leicester to make things even more complicated, right?
Okay.
And that game wasn't played because it was a Leicester home game, and on the day that the East Kilbride went to travel down, they hit ridiculous traffic and it was not possible. There was some spillage, closure of the road they were traveling down, the motorway they were traveling down. They were stuck in traffic and end up having to turn around or whatever. Didn't get there. Now, as it sits at the moment, it looks like BAFA have cancelled the game. Leicester said on Sunday the game was awarded a draw. I don't think it is.
No.
So I don't see how that's fair anyway.
It never gets awarded a draw.
I've never seen. That's another point.
I've
never seen something be awarded a draw.
What? Draw via spillage on motorway? No.
Like, how's it fair either way for a draw?
It's definitely not a draw.
But interesting that Martin said he's heard that, right? I don't think that's. I'm not saying Martin's lying. I'm saying I don't think that's true. I don't think that's what's happening, right?
Yeah.
So what the way it sits right now, you've got Leicester in the bottom place, but they're being compared, or they're competing with a team above them who have played fewer games. Therefore, their win is making the difference. It gives them 0.011 more gravitas in their win percentage, and that's enough to relegate or leave the Mersey Nighthawks below them. However, right? So
there's more. Okay, go on.
Oh, there's loads more. The plot thickens, right? So if the way that I would apply the rules, and again, and this is how they would apply them in Uniball as well, actually, which I think is a fair way of doing it, is when two teams are being ranked against each other, whether in seedings or in the league tables at the end of the year, if the teams haven't played the same amount of games, and this includes walkovers, right? So a walkover would still count as a game in the win percentage, right? But if the actual numbers don't marry up and you've got 9 games versus 10 games, they don't count that in when it comes. So they just skip to the next comparable in the logic that they've got. Well, the next comparable in the logic is head to head, and Merseyside have the head to head. So if you were to apply the logic in the right way, so they're looking at win percentage. You can't count win percentage if you don't have a common denominator that's equal, right? It's not fair. Their wins are worth more. Why would it be fair for having one team? They both won one game, so surely you've got to go to head to head. In which case, Leicester should be relegated. It should be head to head. That's where I'm sitting, right? I believe it needs to go to head to head. I think that's fair, but I just want to sort of open it up. Then there's a little bit of a wild card play here as well, in which Leicester and Merseyside could stay up because East Kilbride should take the forfeit, should they not?
I mean, I imagine by Baffa regs, they should do obviously like the like most comparable and most sort of modern example of traffic causing a game not to be played is the NWFL semis
Oh,
with
mate, you're breaking
Leeds
up there. Sorry.
not being
What
able
did you
to
say?
come down to get to Coventry. Just saying about what like the most comparable sort of traffic related um, issue in Britball being sort of Leeds not being able to come down to Coventry to play Brum, and obviously Leeds then they've lost that game, and Brum go on to the finals there. Uh,
Is that what happened in the playoffs?
yeah,
Because that,
yeah,
that that was over the weekend, wasn't it?
yeah. That was on Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. So Leeds.
The plot is thicker than I
I believe there was
believed.
a fire on the motorway, I believe, up near Leeds, and they I believe the squad couldn't get down in time. The full squad couldn't get down in time for kickoff, so Birmingham go to the finals. So
So based on that, right? The Panthers and Nighthawks should stay up and the Pirates should go down.
yeah,
If they're going to apply the
yeah,
rule in the same way, that should be a forfeited game, and the Pirates go down.
yeah. It seems as though
Okay,
the
let's
traffic
say let's say
bylaws
they
don't.
just they don't want to be mean and they void that one, right? It's then not fair that the Nighthawks suffer because the East Kilbride Pirates couldn't get to the game.
Yeah,
Because that's what
yeah,
you're saying, right?
yeah. It's a real no-win situation here.
So it says Baffa regs treat games beyond your control different to ones you can control. So are they saying that Leeds shouldn't have forfeited? Are we saying that Leeds shouldn't have forfeited that? Like,
Well, here's the thing. I believe the terminology was the game was cancelled, but obviously it's different because it's a playoff game. So it's cancelled, but there's not much you can really do. So Brum win. Brum are in the finals now. You know, but yeah, but again,
so,
that's why
so there we
I
go.
wasn't sure. Well, I wasn't sure whether to bring that up because obviously it's playoff rules versus
So they're
non-playoff
saying.
rules.
So people in the comments are saying that that's beyond their control. Can't be.
Yeah, I
Can't
know
be
it's
like so. So
100.
it's a voided game, right? A cancel. I think void is the term that Bucks use. Cancelled is
Yeah,
the term that Baffa use. Voided game, gone, right? So therefore, you've made it an uneven season, and it's not fair to apply the win percentage rule, because if on that day East Kilbride had travelled down and defeated the Panthers, then the Panthers would have been relegated based on the strength of they'd only had one win, and the head-to-head goes to the Nighthawks. So
what
surely it's only fair. The right outcome here is that the Nighthawks stay up and the Panthers go down.
I think it's fairly. I think it's fairly simple. What you do, you have a three-way Madden tournament, and that's how you decide. You put your randomizer, classic, 3-minute quarters, bish bash bosh. Realistically, it's like I'm sort of leaning towards more Panthers, um, but it's very difficult.
What, you're leaning more towards the Panthers? Let me just get this clear. You're leaning more towards the Panthers being relegated, right?
Yes,
On the basis of
it's difficult because I'm thinking. So I'm thinking like the percentage is, yeah, but the
look.
percentage doesn't.
So Tom's saying league rules state that 1420, any games or tournaments which are postponed for reasons beyond either team's control or which cannot be rescheduled safely be recorded as a 0-0 tie or have no
Oh,
result
okay.
allocated. So that's
Okay, so it
interesting.
is
If they do a 0-0 tie, then Merseyside go down.
that's mad. That's absolutely
Right.
mad.
But if there's no result allocated, then I believe Leicester should go down. Where no result is rewarded, competition management may decide league position and relegation and promotion on win percentage for games played. But that doesn't make sense because that team's now, like I said, if you look, both teams have got one win. The win percentage for Merseyside Nighthawks is 10%, 0.1. The win percentage for the Leicester Panthers, they both won one game. The win percentage for the Panthers, because they've only played 9 games, is 11%. So 0.111. So it's that 0.011 that they gain that is enough for them to stay up. And I think it's unfair. It's unfair on Merseyside because in the head-to-head, they done them by 24 points.
Yeah.
Coach Rain says still time to play the game. Neither in playoffs. Why can't EKP play? Yeah, I think that's a good.
Yeah, it's good enough reason.
Would love it.
Good enough.
I would love it. That would be a great way to end the situation. Is that likely to happen? I think it's highly unlikely to happen. I think you'll have. I don't think the teams would even agree to it because they'll say people have gone on holiday or that they've checked out of football. They've not trained in X weeks or whatever. I don't think that there'll be a willingness from both sides to even play that game. But it'll be interesting if Baffa said you've got to play it, and then you forfeiting it then to one of the teams, right? It'll be I just think that I feel like the way that things are now, I think that the Nighthawks should be really hard done by, or will be really hard done by if relegation is enforced for them. It's not fair.
Yeah, but it's obviously it's one of those things that just happens in, Britball, Uniball, NWFL. We don't have the old private jets that the NFL has, or even we can't. Again, we can't predict the traffic, but sometimes you do sort of put your hand to your head and be like, oh God, another traffic related issue. So.
And then, Coach Range raising an interesting point there, saying it depends if Merseyside want to stay up. They may want to say no. I don't know. I don't think, Nathan. I don't think it's as simple saying life ain't fair. But we've got a sport that with a governing body with rules and regulations, and I think fairness should be the goal of that governing body in terms of the enforcement of the rules in it. I don't think I don't think saying life ain't fair when it comes to something like that is right. It's not about fortune. It's about the fact that they're being compared. The metrics that they're being used to be compared against are unfair. So they're not starting off as an even keel when you do that comparison. One team has an advantage, and that shouldn't count. And therefore, you go to the next level, head-to-head, Merseyside win. That's how I see it. Anyway, any more info to add on that, Tebs?
No, like I think I've put forward all sort of my pertinent information to it and come to the same conclusion that I had when the conversation started, which is
life ain't fair.
Yeah.
Right. Let's actually, as you're a guest host, do you have any topics of discussion outside of the games? Right.
No, none that are pertinent to senior ball. Obviously,
Oh yeah, you're gearing up for uni ball.
Yeah, uni ball's on the horizon. Well, okay. So I guess we can talk about this. It's not senior ball, but both the NWFL semi-finals, they're not happening. They haven't happened. So both Brum and London are in the finals without playing a semi. Obviously through, sort of different reasons. In that Edinburgh couldn't get down to London, and Leeds obviously not being able to come down to Birmingham. It's just a shame for the sort of the new Nines League, but
it's the Nines League's first ever playoffs, and both semis didn't happen. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, that's correct.
And the final is now between
Birmingham and London.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, give it a sec. We'll come back. Put a pin in that. at 8:30 p.m. or just before. What's going on, mate? What the fuck? Who are you? Why are you even here?
I was driving back from Scotland and I literally only just fucking walked in the door and from work, and I was like, love you, babe, but I've got to run upstairs because I'm late for the stream.
Go and get the kitten. Go and get the kitten.
Oh, you want to see Zelda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I've been talking about.
Oh, okay. And I've got to go back to fucking Kilmarnock tomorrow. So
why didn't you stay overnight up there?
Because I was planning to be home like 3 hours ago, but right, you want to see Zelda? Right.
Traffic-related issues coming down from Scotland. Very topical.
Yeah. Coach Range said the same. And Coach Range also said that would have been the final anyway. So, what's your take on that, Tebs? Is that a lot? Would that have been the likely final, regardless?
Well, I don't know. Just based on the fact that obviously we went up to stream the first Brum versus Leeds game, and it finished with like a 74-86 score, like the largest scoreline that we've seen so far this year.
I think I don't know. I think if you went back through the football archives, you struggle to find many.
You'd be hard pressed. Like realistically, like it's. I think London were going to be in the final anyway. Sorry, Edinburgh, but I think that Leeds Birmingham game potentially could have flipped. Mainly because not sort of. Well, I guess in the commentary, I sort of single out some of the NWFL players that in that game with Birmingham.
She does not like being picked up. She's not very user friendly. But this is Zelda.
I thought she was a kitten. That looks like a cat.
No, she's 5 months old. She's tiny compared to Lance.
Right. There you go. Why doesn't she like being picked up? Wolf.
I don't know. She's just not. Yeah, no, but she just ran. She just fucking front flipped out of my hands. She's a rescue. And loves being patted, but doesn't like being picked up.
All right. Oh, thanks.
Mate, I want to massively talk about Merseyside Leicester. If it
no, you don't. You don't.
You
don't call the shots here.
Okay.
I don't know. Were you listening to the show?
No. I was going to ask, what is the final ruling?
We don't know yet. But people are saying that the best thing would be saying why don't East Kilbride and Leicester play this weekend, get the game played, and then it's all sorted then, right?
100%.
Well, interestingly, if that game gets played and Leicester lose, then they're down. That's how it would play out, right?
Yeah.
But it gives Leicester a chance to. Well, I say a chance to stay up. It looks like at the moment that Merseyside Nighthawks are the ones that are relegated, but it doesn't feel right. And I hope that there's appeals going on.
No. So that's the thing. Like, if essentially, I reckon that if it comes down to it, that game is not equated. Like, it doesn't go on win percentage, if that makes sense. Like, they just go, look, you both won one game, and then we move. So they take it based on wins, not win percentage, and then it goes to the next tiebreaker because they both won one game, and at which point it would be Merseyside who stay up because they had the points differential, and they clobbered Leicester. So I don't think it's fair that Merseyside go down based on a technicality.
Yes.
Just because Leicester's probably going to be like, nah, fuck it, we don't want to play.
Because the Pirates got stuck traveling, weren't able to make it on that day, which again isn't their fault, no problem. But Merseyside shouldn't be penalised.
No, best thing is the game should be played this week.
Yeah.
But if they're not able to play it, then 100% it should just be like 6 injuries totaling 106 minutes of stoppage at Leicester.
I thought after an hour of stoppage total, the refs could call the game.
Well, I guess that's a can.
Not they don't. I think they'd be really willing to call the game.
Yeah, but no, seriously,
injuries. Come on.
Yeah,
it's just like
It's just it would be such a shitter for them to when the two teams finally played again. Like Merseyside showed to be the better one, yet they go down because Leicester could easily turn around and be like, "No, we don't want to play it. We don't want to play it next week. Like we can't. We've got."
But then they take a
all these
forfeit.
injuries. Yeah. Wow. True. Yeah. And then they get the loss anyway, and then see you later. It's just okay. So 5 injuries total to 6 minutes. One. Oh no, 106 minutes. I was thinking. For some reason, my brain went like 100 minutes was now, but
yeah. I know. I could tell what you've done there.
Yeah. But fuck, man, that's it's just good show for Merseyside though to pull it out. Like when it fucking counts.
They did a hashtag Believe in Steve.
Believe in Steve.
Yeah.
Why didn't Bristol do one of those?
Because they didn't win.
Well, no, but this one's why didn't
you mean when they Bristol still got the rest of the playoffs? Like the story isn't finished in Bristol.
Because the week I start supporting them, they lose, and I was like, "What the fuck's going on here?"
The curse of the Oz.
No, must be.
But, we need to let's get into it then.
Thank you, Tibbs, for filling in, and also what a joke! What a joke that the fucking
him. He's staying.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying thank you, but I'm just saying what a joke that fucking the two teams in the final didn't play for the women's nines that he's talking, mate.
Yeah, it is a shame, like there's not this.
No, it's not. It's not a shame. Add a few more letters. Add a few more letters onto that, mate. It's a fucking shambles. It's not a shame.
Yeah. It's a shambles.
It's a shambles. It's an absolute fucking shambles.
Yeah, it's not good for the first year of the of 9v9 format, but I think they've had a successful season in 9v9 regardless. Like, I don't know. I suppose you'll be able to tell me this, Tez. Were there any non-participation, like relegation forfeits?
Not that I believe. Like, even because this was the whole thing with Edinburgh is that they played at neutral venues, or they played one of their home games in Leeds.
They learned a lesson, didn't they? They won't be doing that again.
No, I guarantee you they won't.
It's so unfortunate for the ladies that have sort of bent themselves over backwards to help Baffa get this fucking go, and then Baffa's just like, "See you later." Yeah.
Well, we assume that there's no what hasn't been forthcoming is evidence either way, right? Like, not that Baffa have got the burden of proof, but when allegations are made. And not that they come from a credible source, the entire Wolves organization is saying, you said this, but there's never been like screenshots or emails or anything shared. But then that could be because it was just all done vocally on a phone, right? But it's I think Baffa have walked out of this one with a hell of a load of shame cast over them. I think everyone is all on Wolves' side. Like everyone's like, yeah, fuck that. That's out of order.
So what has input? What's put Birmingham through?
So Leeds. So it was supposed to be Leeds Chargers versus Birmingham Lions in Coventry on Saturday at Butts Park. So there was I believe there was a fire on the motorway up near Leeds. The Leeds were unable to sort of get their team down in time. Game was cancelled. Birmingham Lions go through to the final.
Fucking hell.
I just want to say this one for Kwame. So Kwame, yes. And no, that's not a hard rule. It's a soft rule that the refs can enforce. So as soon as there's 60 minutes of stoppage in a game, the refs have got the right to stop the game.
That's rough. For both Leeds and Edinburgh, like the women that have played their entire schedule, especially for the Edinburgh women that have played it, like you said, played a home game at a neutral venue in Leeds. Like, that's not a short journey from Edinburgh to Leeds. Like,
thought the roads are better down there. Surely there was a way around it. Some Leeds players made it there.
Yeah.
It's like I believe that the majority of the Leeds players made it there, but then because there was the Sevens finals as well, that there wasn't really the time to push that game further back,
right?
Because otherwise, I'm sure both Leeds and Birmingham would have pushed it back, made sure, but there wasn't the time. There was games happening on that day when the game finished. So
Teams need to start traveling overnight when there's not many cars. Stay in a hotel. Then they're there. There's ways around everything. What's this? There's ways around everything.
It's the other 200,000 on the road that want a way around it as well that are the problem. So I get what he's saying. It's like you're avoiding the fire, but so's every other fucker that wants to get about their business too. So
you're not in the traffic. You are
the traffic. Yes.
Right, Kwame's getting on his soapbox a bit this evening rather than cracking jokes, which is nice.
Maybe
heavily against Rafa.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe getting the shit kicked out of him by the Blitz was humbling. I don't know.
I don't know. Right, let's go through. Do you want to start us off, Tebs? Not Tebs. Oz.
Yeah, I was like, Tebs is like, Tebs is like, not really.
What?
I did my
Where
part.
am I?
he's like, we're not talking about the women.
Well, honestly, Steve, I'm waiting for you two to start talking so I can go and turn the light on so I don't look like I'm emerging from a swamp. So
he's sitting there, he's like, we're not talking about women. We're not talking about bucks. Like, what am I doing here?
Yeah. Why are you giving me the ball?
Right. Yes. So first game up was the Nighthawks Panthers game.
We've already talked about the implications of it.
Yeah.
Everyone else thought Panthers, not me. I know.
Yeah. No. It was. I'll tell you what. If it was ever going to be a game that they needed to win, so I can't. I get the logic in picking it, but it's not just the like the fact that Merseyside won. It was a decisive victory.
Yeah,
like 36-6 is like.
Yeah, I think Leicester have had some troubles this year with people leaving, head coach. I don't know, getting fired or leaving or whatever.
I was going to say there's a lot of internal strife. Like,
not
a lot of people are a fan of the rebrand.
So I think they've had it really rough, and they've got a hell of an off season to try and salvage it to be able to perform and compete in the Prem next year. Obviously,
what they should do is just
save for any restructuring, which I keep hearing whispers of like loads of different restructure rumors, which makes sense. I think we are heading for a restructure, which is cool. Yeah, and looking forward to it. But just based on the structure we're in now, were Leicester to be put back into a North Prem structure next year, or a division next league conference, said all of them, didn't I? But conference next year, that they've got a lot of a long way to sort of go to be able to compete in it.
Yeah, what they should do is take the loss versus EKP, bounce back down to Div 1 to fix all your internal shit. But it depends. I do think the game needs to, like, I get it's only a sort of short notice, but at the same time it's not, if that makes sense. Like, you should have been looking at your schedule ever since the EKP game was cancelled. You should have been
trying to reschedule it. Yeah,
exactly. You should have been looking at your schedule the whole time, going, where can we fit in this game versus EKP?
So this is what we were all laughing at, I think, collectively.
Yeah, got it. I've got it. Yeah, we don't need it to share.
Just catch Tibbs is here doing a favor, just catching strays.
Yeah.
Why has it got to be at Broadmoor?
I guess that's the only HMP that he knows.
Broadmoor's a mental health place.
Kwame, why are you trying to send these teams to the gulag? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's near me. I live right near Broadmoor.
Yeah, it could be the only prison name that he knows. Like, I don't know any of the names of the prisons.
Broadmoor's particularly well known because it looks after like criminally insane. Criminally insane, yeah. One of my uncles was in there.
No,
with one of the crays. Honestly, we should go and visit
Ian Cray.
I don't know, about 5-6 times we visited my uncle Rob. We did see it, I think it was Ronnie Cray that was in there.
It would have been Ronnie,
in the corner with his people that had visited him. So yeah, a month. My uncle used to play cards with him, he said.
Oh. Did you meet Tom Hardy?
Yeah. How many people did your uncle kill?
Mate, that's not even the big thing. This is the big thing.
I see. I probably ate it.
Mate, LL Cool P delivering ice cream for the
It's
canteen.
criminally insane.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think he killed anyone. He was just off his fucking head.
Yeah.
Like my dad used to tell me loads of stories about. Like, it was one year my granddad. It was like this big tough bloke got a brand new car in like I don't know the 70s, and he took my uncle Rob with him to go to a shop. Literally, the car had like got it just brand new out of like the car place, got delivered. My granddad jumped out of the car to go into a shop, and it had like had like a bench front seat. Rob
So your uncle just split across.
fucking totaled the car. He fucking basically did a big U-turn and smashed it. So my granddad came out of the fucking shop and his car's the other side of the road. Out into a building. And Rob was like 15, 14 or something.
Imagine totaling a car and the worst injuries that you get are from the ass whipping your dad's just giving you in the middle of the street.
My granddad he should have been in Broadmoor, man. He was a fucking nutcase.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like your uncle was just in a car crash, and his worst injuries came from the whooping your granddad gave him.
Anyway, enough about me and my life.
Yeah, just insights into your Grand Theft Auto life.
I think it's fucking so funny.
In the battle,
Rob was like, chill. It'd be like, oh yeah, I did that, yeah.
He deserved it, little bastard.
Yeah, so like Dad went in there, and I just thought I'd drive it, and what I did was crash it, and then like there's just nothing else. There's nothing behind it. You're like, all right, you want to play cards again, Rob?
Deal up, mate. In the battle for Scottish supremacy, this game ran a lot closer than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Edinburgh 14, EKP 0, but still only a 14-point gap, and EKP managing to essentially. This worries me if I'm Edinburgh leading into the playoffs.
Yeah, you'd expect a much more dominant performance from a playoff-bound team.
Yeah, 100%. You're going south to
the Edinburgh Wolves now face the London Warriors at home.
I was going to say, you're traveling to London. Well, depends what Baffa does. But they may decide, no, we scrapped it for the women. We're going to scrap it for the men.
If they're not going, we're not going.
Yeah. Wolves didn't have a QB, so they used their tight end as quarterback.
Hopefully they've got a QB for the next game.
Yeah, you'll fucking want one for the Warriors game. Like we saw what happened. We saw what happened when the Warriors got their QB in the reverse fixture against Bristol. They won.
They raised your hopes,
mate. This season is just QB gate. It's just QB gate.
Sam Chance.
But yeah, 14-0. You're heading to London next week to face the Warriors. Like arguably the most dominant football team in recent UK ball history.
Oh, yeah, unbelievable team.
And you're putting 14 on EKP.
Yeah. The running back went up the A gaff and turned. Oh, shut up! Right, I don't know. He's now turned.
Why do you bother? Why do you bother?
He started off with a few sensible posts, and then he just deteriorates, doesn't he, Kwame? He's just like, look at me! He's
like your uncle. He's going to stack a car in a second. Just
I better go and watch it. Well, wait, that uncle's dead now anyway. So
no, you got Kwame instead. It's the same thing.
He killed himself. Maybe he did kill someone.
Well, he did better than the rest of us, mate. He worked out with a perfect 1-to-1 kill death ratio. Brilliant. Very few other people could say that they had a perfect 1-to-1 kill death ratio. Most of us go 0-1.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's a solid bloke.
Not anymore. He's bones.
No, yeah.
There's nothing to him. Right. In the other Prem North fixture, the Manchester Titans did what we expected they would do against Tamworth Phoenix.
Well, they went 7-0 down. That's not 6-0 down, 2 field goals. That wasn't what we expected.
No, but the final score.
But yeah, and then Manchester like, nah. Aaron Hernandez is a bit.
He does. He's got 2-1.
We don't know. Hey, let's. My family really quiet about Rob, so he probably did kill a few people, right?
So let's just speak about him. Let's just speak about him on a national stream.
I'll get phone calls next. Shut the fuck up about Rob. Shut the fuck up about Rob.
It's going to be used in a Netflix documentary, isn't it? This footage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've got no evidence, just funny stories that people tell me.
So Titans 46. They will face Bristol at home next.
Yes. Game. Repeat of last season's
semi-final as well, wasn't it? Yeah. So that's going to be it's not as long as a trip as I would think, because it's literally straight.
It's not that bad.
It's straight up
it's just a bit of a. I know it's a pain in the ass going up there, So, although Manchester's ground is closer to Bristol than all of the other London grounds and Solent, so it would be the closest away game they could play.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad.
And I would assume that even teams that sort of have trouble traveling in season when they hit the playoffs, they're like less than you're not going to really find your Stratford numbers traveling when you're in a prem semi-final essentially. Nah. Yeah, it's everybody comes out of the woodwork.
They'll travel well. They'll do fine. It's not. You will not hear any complaints from Bristol about it's too far.
We didn't travel well, and This obviously is not what they wanted. Because we'll lean into we'll sort of blend these two games together because of the playoff implications. So London 39, Bristol 36. I noticed that every time I looked at the comments, everyone was saying we should have streamed this game.
Even at the game, mate. Even at the game, something amazing would happen on film, on the pitch, and people near us would be like, "Oh, you should have had that on stream." Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
just let me get my flip phone out. I'll go live. I'll go Facebook Live.
Now you mention it, let me just get the kit out of the car.
Yeah. Oh, I never thought about streaming it.
You're a genius. But there was some just amazing play, just back and forth. It was awesome. There was some terrible referee calls as well.
Yeah.
And there was one really bad injury.
A high quality Britball game unless there was.
But it was atrocious. Both, and it wasn't biased to one side. It was just crapness all around, laughable. Do you know what I mean? Like some of the stuff that just wasn't getting called, and even some of the calls that were made. It was just
that always pleases me though. I always get upset if you're missing calls left, right, and center. But if you're not making bad calls, if that makes sense, like if you're making bad calls and you're missing calls left, right, and center, I then just assume that you're fucking shit house
grounding.
Whereas if you're just missing bad calls, I feel like you're just blind to that part of the game, as opposed to just being a fucking terrible ref.
There was twice that the Warriors QB threw blatant intentional ground, just fucking no one there. And it was the second one, the ball was in midair, and it was there was just no one there. Someone had gone to the flat, there was just no one there from their team. There was no one there from the Aztecs team, and they didn't call it. And I just, and
I take it he's not out of the pocket either. He's still in the pocket.
Yeah. He felt pressure and just got rid of it.
Just lobbed it.
He got walloped a couple of times, and he did get hit late once as well, and that was flagged. I think they always look after the QB, but it was just, it felt like there was a third. When you sometimes it's okay, team A versus team B, but then you've got a third dimension in it. You've now got to factor in the good or bad call or the non-call of a referee, and it's just crap because you're it's not only about execution of these players, it's now whether whether the interpretation of their gameplay has been refereed correctly, So that it didn't. I don't think it it just put a bit of a down on it. It was a noticeable element in the game when it shouldn't have been. It should have been. I feel the best games are the ones that you don't know the refs are there. You know, like
that sort of thing plays heavily on specific positions as well. Like if you're consistently like either not getting flagged for holding, that plays on a defender's mind because he's like, how the fuck am I going to come off this edge when he's just every single time, every rush, I'm essentially getting tackled to the ground sort of thing. Or if they're calling it shit again on the defensive side of things, like, you know, like a rough in the passer or something, one that was, one that wasn't, like you start not thinking about your job and you start thinking also about like, how is this going to work with the refs? And it takes you out of the zone. And it's just fucking shit.
So, but like, it was a very dramatic end to the game.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So the Aztecs were 2 scores up, and the Blitz came back. Sorry, the Warriors came back, and they were in this sort of like tit for tat situation. The Warriors scored a touchdown late into just there's about a minute left. Is that right, Tebs?
Yeah.
And then they got the ball. Then the Aztecs got the ball around midfield, and if they kicked a field goal and got 3 points, they would have been at home for the playoffs. So there's like a minute to go, the time's going down, and then they all of a sudden got success with the ball out to the as the QB would face it, their left midfield, left hook curl range, right near and obviously right near the sideline, so they could step out of bounds and save a timeout. Bang bang, you know. Well, first one didn't quite go so well. Next 2 really well. Fourth one to the same area was a pick.
Probably shouldn't throw it to the same area 4 times in a row.
It's what everyone was like, and at that point they were actually in field goal range. But you're going to always go for, you're going to go for the touchdown. You're going to go for the
I get it, but it kind of feels like a fool me once, shame on you. Like fool me twice, shame on me.
Well, that was it. There was just an adjustment, and like there were numerous photographers at the game, which was awesome. So I've seen like really good footage where they basically like just taking picture after picture, and you've got this like a few frames difference in it. And it was number 6, I believe it was, for the Warriors. He jumped in front of the receiver and took it. And I think his surname's Cherry because I've seen that come up. People saying that Cherry was out of bounds. So the complaint from the Aztec side was that he caught the ball, but his feet were out of bounds when he caught it. But there was no call. It did go a bit quiet on it. Like there was the refs conferred, didn't they, for about 5 or 6 seconds, Tebs, because it was like anticlimactic. Like, is that it? What the fuck's happening now? And then they said, game over, done.
From what I heard, it was he had 1 foot landed inbounds, 1 foot landed out of bounds.
Yeah,
which I believe with NCAA rules that's
it's okay as long as the foot that lands inbounds lands first.
Yeah, I believe that was the case. Yeah,
just to answer Callum. Yeah, because you're right. NCAA is only 1 foot, isn't it?
Yeah, so but from what Tibbs was saying, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, the foot that lands in has to land first. You can't.
I believe that.
If you land both at the same time,
so he was in then. People do often get the receiver, especially with receiver rules and contact, confused between the NFL and
So NFL is both feet, and you've got to maintain the catch through grounding, essentially. Yep. So as you go to ground, NCAA is just 1 foot down. Yeah,
and you can't be assisted by the ground. You can be assisted by a player, but not the ground. Yeah. Then you've got so just Callum here said was that the pick the Warriors put up? Yeah, I think we shared it. Go and have a look at it on the Warriors site. They put a little clip together, and it's awesome. Like. You can see his body position where he went. You look at the position of the receiver. He clearly jumped it, timed it perfectly. I think he must have been. Again, we should have live streamed it. I think he was just sort of sinking down a little bit prior to the ball getting released, and then he just fucking went for it, like with someone covering over the top of him.
Well, you'd like to think also though, like at that level of football, that they if Bristol's come out in the same formation. Sort of 4 straight plays that they've run the same too. And they've run the same play 3 times in a row. Like that would have been the perfect time for essentially Bristol to set up like a different play in a similar vicinity, thinking, right, we've now set it up, we've run the same play 3 times. Now we run
that's what everyone was saying. Why was that not a fucking wild?
now you hook him out of something.
They've just
and
been
then
running
you
Wildcat
boot-
earlier in that drive. So
there's so many things you like the way
killer.
The way that you're supposed to do it with football is you run plays out of the same formation to set things up to allow you to do other plays. You don't just run the same play over and over again because when you come up against quality opposition, they're going to read it and jump it.
You get people that say like you run it till it doesn't work. Well, running it till it doesn't work in this instance is
you lost you the game.
And now you're going away. Like
now you're traveling to Manchester as opposed to having Edinburgh come to you.
Even if they do, variety is the spice of life. That's what they should have been. That should have been the ethos rather than run it till it doesn't work. But yeah, so
that is such a huge three.
Focusing on that, even the rest of the game was fucking awesome. Big runs, big hits, big play. It was such a good game. We were getting stressed watching it.
Should have live streamed it.
Yeah, I know. Should have live streamed it. That's all we kept. Even at half time, you should live stream this. We're like, yeah.
So we'll come back. We'll circle back to this because we'll talk playoff implications and things like that.
Also, one thing I just want to quickly mention: there was a really severe leg injury, lower leg injury to one of the Warriors players. One of his own his foot was planted. One of his own players came over the top, and his leg snapped. Awful, and that the handled perfectly by everyone there. There were great medical staff there. They already had oxygen for him. By the time they got him off to the sideline, out of the way on a stretcher and everything. I don't know about you, Tebs, but when I left after the game, the dude was still there, lying there, waiting for an ambulance.
Yes, I didn't quite understand
with a fucking mask. So I just, obviously, all the best for him for his, recovery. But I really hope he didn't have to wait much longer to get seen to, because the dude had a snapped leg and was just left on a, people were looking after him. Don't get me wrong, but fuck me, like, where was the ambulance? It was, it was just sort of made to be in pain for a bit longer, because I doubt anyone there could have administered any drugs. He probably took some paracetamol, but not the level of pain management that he would have needed. All the best for him. Hopefully he makes a full recovery, because that was that was a nasty one.
I haven't had a leg snap like that, but when I was playing rugby back in New Zealand, I put my arm out to brace my fall when I got tackled from behind, and my elbow popped through the wrong way, and I dislocated my elbow. At the time, they were in the process of knocking down about 4 different buildings in the city centre. It was post-earthquake in Christchurch. So they were in the process of knocking down about 4 different buildings in the city centre. So they had to divert traffic away from the city centre. And I was playing at a place called Belfast. It's about half an hour drive out of the city centre in regular traffic. The ambulance got diverted. It took 3.5 hours for the ambulance to get to me. And I was left just sort of lying on my side with my elbow out of the socket just until the ambulance could turn up like 3.5 hours later. And all I had is I had 1 tank of laughing gas that the St. John guy had, and I went through that in about 25 minutes.
Yeah, they're not built to last, are they?
No. Yeah. And then after that, it was just so. Honestly, I hope that he was able to, as soon as they got him in the ambulance, they were able to shoot him up with morphine. Speedy recovery. All the best to him. Fucking hate to see these things.
Me and Ted were talking about it yesterday. Like we've had there's been so many really bad injuries in Britball this year. I don't know if we feel that we're closer to it because we've actually been there for some of them, right? And I don't know, but or maybe just because we're doing the rundown and we cover stuff and we just hear about it more.
That's what I wonder. Is it
like this year? There's been so many really bad, unfortunate injuries to people.
Is there more serious injuries, or is it more that we're now in a position to hear about them, see them more? Like, and
we've covered the sport for years now, right? Like, I don't know. It does feel like there's a lot more severe injuries happening at the moment.
I sort of get what you said. Like, it's a lot more sort of personal now because
we're more tapped in and we know these teams more. Like, especially for you guys going on these live streams, you're speaking with people that are fully linked in with these teams on site. You're getting to know them. You're interacting with them for the entire day, and then you're spending all the time videoing and everything like that. And then we've done these live streams and stuff, but I would say we've become more tapped in with the audience this season with this
Yeah.
rundown as opposed to what we would have been historically with the Game Day Live. Because
Game Day Live, everyone was playing. Well,
Yeah.
not everyone, but most.
No,
people.
but you're right. Yeah. But a lot of the people that we would be speaking to on a Monday night is playing. So we're consistently pulling our stuff from Twitter and from Instagram and things like that, and we're feeding it back. But a lot of it is just the interaction between me and you, or me and Mike, or me, you and Mike, so on and so forth. So it does feel like that we are more tapped into it and we're more exposed than we have been in, because previously we'd just be like, there's an injury, like this game has stopped for an injury. And then we would hear about it as the week progressed on of what the injury was, and then we might have a quick conversation about it the following week. So Tom's just
couple
said,
of theories there,
is it because we're teaching guys to tackle low, to take the head out of the game? This can result more. Well, that is one thing that the NFL's been massive on. Is there's been a lot of pushback from people in like wide receiver and running back positions that NFL players are now taught to go low as opposed to go high because of the whole, like the fact that NFL got sued for the CTE and the concussions and everything like that, and they're all about taking concussions out of the game. And there's always been a lot of posts and social media from especially running backs, but they're like, right, okay, well, you're taking concussions out of the game, but we're now all risking career-ending injuries because everybody's just being a fucking missile to our knees.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it could be that. What did Kwame say? People playing harder because some
people are getting better.
Perhaps this leads to an increase in talent gap. Could be. If you play against Dunfermline Kings versus Cincinnati, there'll be a lot of injuries. That's true.
Well, no, they wouldn't, because there's no Dunfermline Kings.
Dunfermline will forfeit. Right. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
No, of course there'd be a lot of injuries because the Dunfermline Kings are fucking 16 years old. Like those kids that get slaughtered playing against the Cincinnati Bengals. They haven't got an adult team to speak of.
Miles Garrett, that dude that's just
but he doesn't play for the Bengals. He plays for the Browns. But yes.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I love watching him play.
It
looks like he's got legs sticking out of his shoulders instead of arms.
Mate, check out a guy who plays for the Miami Dolphins. Tibbs will love this. Guy called Jalen Phillips. He's literally built like a Greek god. Like, he's got like a 16 pack. Like he's just fucking disgustingly ripped. There was another game in Prem that was played this week.
Another two.
Oh, well, one wasn't really played. And you can tell which game was I talking about.
Put up a poll.
Yeah. Who is Oz trying to offend more?
So what are we? London Blitz, Solent Thrashers.
If you want.
Yeah, let's go that game next.
Okay. I'm not confirming which game I was insulting or not. So
it's fine.
So, London Blitz 46, Solent Thrashers 10. It's just the golf. That's all it is. It's the big talent gap between the top three and the bottom three.
Yep.
So, and then, so top three, bottom two, bottom one. If we're going to speak about Oz's tiers, bring them back.
No. Otherwise, I'll be in tears.
Because Cambridgeshire put the cherry on top of the relegation cake. 66-0 versus the Kings.
Nah, come on, mate. They just nipped that difference of 36 points past us.
Yeah,
they just running clocked us, but it was
the game was 16-10 until the 2-minute warning at halftime, the first half.
Oh right, okay, yeah, I was going to say. Oh, piss off! What is up with fucking people? You just block this person.
It's
he's right though. Steve.
I know. Yeah, it's a great point, but like, trying to sabotage my shit, man.
Yeah. This is gonna be my income.
This is my golden ticket out of here.
Is there much to take away from either the Blitz Thrashers game or Cambridge or Kent? I mean, Kent's going down. Like, that's all there is to it. Nothing
They already were relegated.
Yeah.
Just like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's a great last hurrah for Coach Rains. getting
I know, it's
spanked
a shame.
46 10s.
Shame that he ended his senior ball or summer ball. I
He's
think
got to
they
be
called it.
fucking fuming he didn't get Kent as his last game.
Well, if you look at the matchups, this was definitely done on purpose by Baffer. You had Warriors Aztecs, Blitz Thrashers, and Cats Exiles on the last night.
Oh,
They
yeah.
absolutely set that up based on pre-season predictions of where those teams were going to be.
100%. Yeah. That's the thing.
And even Nighthawks Panthers.
Yeah.
And Phoenix.
Tamworth,
Titans.
Manchester. Yeah. That's the thing. They've looked at it and they've gone, this could be our top of the table battle.
Yeah.
This could be our mid-table battle.
Yeah.
And this could be our relegation battle.
Yeah. And that's what they did. And it's I'm all for it. Like I'm not calling.
So Coach Rains has got to be happy knowing that they didn't get Kent scheduled for the last game of the season.
Baffer think highly of him and his team.
Yeah. No, just credit to Coach Rains. He's been just a stalwart, not just in Solent but in Britball. So, do we know? Is he done? Like,
no, he's done with summer ball. He's going to still do uni ball.
With the
I reckon he'll end up with another Baffer role. That's my prediction.
What's
The
that?
Cats' first 3 offensive plays were all teething. Shut up, Kwame. Fucking read this, Kwame.
No, but but the Cats played Kent. Cats didn't play.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got myself confused. Fuck it, ignore that. We'll clip that out.
Right, so he's just done with Solent for the moment, but he's still going to continue. He's not hanging it up completely.
He's done with not just Solent, with summer football.
Right.
So nothing that's played in the summer. Women's, under 19s, under 16s, adult, just uni ball.
Okay.
He's sticking with. But I think he'll end up with a Baffer role. I think he should have a Baffer role anyway.
Well, I'd put him with Cricket Peters in a second.
Yeah. Well, he was.
Well, yeah, well, that's what I mean. I'd put him back.
Position, but then they put Peters over him.
But I put him back. Not just in the job. Like, I'd put him in his house. Like, I'd put him in his life.
In his
like,
missus.
100%. I'd take Cricket Pete out of the world and just put Coach Rains there instead. So,
what's he said? Strays unprovoked. Rains for ELF commissioner. No, I'm worried the ELF won't be around for the course. I think I love it and I wanted to see it growing, but there's all this they've already had teams sort of like faltering and stuff.
I was going to say
know more about this. He said he was going to do coverage of it for us, but he hasn't. But we don't want him to anyway.
He can't even cover D, but he can't even cover wide receivers. How the fuck is he going to cover a league?
Can't even cover a wideout. Why would he cover a league?
Yeah, fucking hell.
Anyway, right.
He can't cover the
in the next 22 minutes, right? I was hoping to get this done within an hour, right?
Okay. Well, all right.
Abysmal.
So playoffs.
We were abysmal.
Playoffs. Well, I was late, so it's not your fault. Playoffs then.
Div 2.
Yeah. I forgot there was other playoffs. I thought we were just going to talk Prem and then leave it at that. I forgot there's other divisions.
It's wildcard week, so we're only doing wildcard games.
Yeah, but I wanted to talk about the Aztecs fumbling the bag. Like more.
No, to talk about that in the future.
Yeah, but to the point, like, do you think about it? They almost had a free ticket to the final.
The only thing I can't cover is your hairline. I don't know which one of us he's talking to actually, but
okay, mate, he could be talking to both. Mine's
is all right. Tebs is
Tebs is fine.
Yeah,
Tebs has got like some like mid 2000s D-Generation X fucking haircut going on with these.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Party at the back. Look, there we go.
Yeah.
Where's the party gone? Where's the party at?
Mate, there's a reason I wear hats, bruv. Like, it's, I'm just not brave enough to get to you yet because I'm still worried I look more sex offenders than I already do.
It's good. It's all right. Some people walk away from you, some people walk towards you.
The ones that walk away are usually under 14. Right, okay, wildcard weekend.
Yeah, so let's start with game 1 in the Div 2, which is Staffordshire Surge versus Lee Miners.
Miners.
I mean,
Miners?
I mean, if you're we're including Tibbs.
Add
Okay.
Teb, yeah, add Tebs.
Yeah.
Go on, then.
Cool.
Might as well.
It's
Yeah,
a
well,
playoff.
I mean, do you send them to Hatch anyway? Like,
No, you send them to Hatch.
no, I was meaning Tibbs. Does he
No,
send them
Teb
to Hatch?
doesn't. It's only
No,
it's me, you, the Breens, and Tebs, right? Is that 5?
no, I don't.
I was going to say me, you, the Breeds, and Tibbs. I just asked if
Breeds
Tibbs does it.
I meant Hatch.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. Okay, let's get Tibbs in here. I mean, Lee's got to be like, I feel like they're going to spin this some way to be like, yeah, we made playoffs. But at the same time, it's like, did you really earn it? Like,
Yeah, they did, according to the
I'd
rules.
say so.
according to the
According
rules.
to the rules. They're in there, aren't they? So shut up. What are you going for?
It's got to be the Surge, mate. It's got to be the Surge.
Yeah, are you going, Tebs, are you going Miners?
Yeah, it's funny when they started winning games at the start of the year. I couldn't stop laughing. So yeah,
Mate.
let's keep going. I know Staffordshire's really good, but go on. I want to point out last time I did predictions for the Senior Bowl, I predicted Worcestershire Black Knights would win a game, and they did. So I'm on the money.
They're gone. They don't
Yeah,
exist.
I forgot the Source don't exist anymore.
Yeah, no more Source.
Oh.
Shame, isn't it? I'll go Surge as well, definitely.
Yeah, I'm taking the Surge.
Then we've got Gateshead, Wakefield District Raiders.
In the playoffs?
Just don't belong. Like,
That's mad. That's mad.
I'm going Wakefield.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did they tie with them earlier on, or they beat them or something?
I don't know.
I
Who
think they
cares?
drew. I
Hey,
think they drew with Gateshead earlier in the season.
We're into any given Sunday territory, right? It's win or die. So
yeah, they
I
26.
fancy the Raiders in that
Mate,
situation.
week 5, they drew 26 all.
Well, these two teams.
Yes.
The Raiders are going to smash them.
Oh, okay. You're taking the Raiders. I'm taking Gateshead. It's one of my local teams. They're close to me. Who are you taking, Tibbs?
Wakey.
Wait. Oh,
Wakey.
Oh, shaky
Rise and
wakey. No, shaky wakey. That's what they're known as. It's literally what it's known as.
No, well, in my eyes, they're rise and shine.
Yeah. See, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, I agree. But it's down to the disproportionate number of leagues in the division.
Yeah.
So there's 2, the top 3 got in. Where there's 3, the top 2 got in. So they need to make it equal. Essentially,
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't. Maybe not enough teams. Who knows? I don't want to get into that debate. Hereford Stampede versus the Swindon Storm. Tebs first.
So let me just talk about something for a second.
You love them, don't you? You love Hereford is his new bay.
I've got a fair few friends on Hereford, and I went to watch them play Berkshire, and I streamed it, obviously. I was not impressed with Hereford at all. I've got people on that team who I like, including like coaches for the Gladiators. I was not impressed. I do think they'll beat Swindon because they've already beaten Swindon already, but it very well could end up being a loss for them.
Okay, that's not a pick, is it?
So you've given me fucking nothing. I think they could beat them because they've already beaten them, but it could very well just as well be a loss.
Story, isn't he? Once upon a time, there was a team.
Basically, Hereford shit. That's been
What's the moral of your story, Tebs?
Get off the fucking fence and make a pick.
Who's your pick?
Oh, fucking Stampede then. They had a nice bar. There you go. They made me climb. I don't climb. Do I look like a climber? I need to stay on ground level.
So why are you backing them then?
Huh?
If they made you climb, why are you backing them?
Well, because the act of climbing has helped strengthen my knees. I've got 1+ agility to my for at least the rest of this week.
What is this? What is this? Dungeons and Dragons? 1+ agility?
Yeah. Well, considering I was -9,
score more
I'm
points.
pretty happy with it.
So, Oz, who are you going for?
I'm taking the Stampede. I feel like they've been the best team in that division all season long, and they're going to continue to prove it.
I will also pick the Stampede.
I was going to say clean sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom's just said this is why we don't include Tibbs' picks in the first place.
I stick to uni
Because I can just imagine Hatch posting in the Discord being like, "Picks, please, lads," and all he gets back is a fucking dissertation from Tibbs.
This game reminds me of a coffee apple I once had as a boy.
And all it is, and where it has the result of who's going to win, it just says +1 strength, +1 agility, +3 constitution. We're all making picks, and Tibbs is playing Skyrim.
Right, last game in Div 2 this weekend is Portsmouth Dreadnoughts, Colchester Gladiators. It is but I'm going Portsmouth.
Yeah,
and
I'm going Portsmouth too,
I've backed the Glads quite a lot this year, and I think they'll probably be disappointed that I'm not backing them. But it's Portsmouth, and I'm very fond of Portsmouth, as everyone knows.
Mate, Pompey's been shaky down the stretch. Like,
but they're at home. It's the playoffs.
Yeah, let's go. Play up, Pompey. Pompey, play up. He's just having flashbacks to the last time.
Hooligan mode. Yeah, I'm going full hooligan mode. Tebs, what you got, mate?
Portsmouth.
Oh God.
Oh, we're going all Portsmouth. That's a shame. That's a shame, but that's okay.
Well, my picks don't fucking mean anything, so I'll go with Gladiators then.
That's a shame. We could have had a full clean sweep.
We could have had a full sweep.
Actually, you know what? Actually, much like in the same way with Uniball, I'm just going to disavow Portsmouth, and they'll end up winning because that's how it works.
yeah. That was the Destroyers. They kept winning.
I've done that with the Destroyers for 2 years.
But what the bit that actually started? You said, "Oh, they're done. Their season's over."
Yeah,
delivered. Something like that.
When we were doing Game Day Live for Uniball 2 years ago, I basically turned around and said they lost 3 games in a row, and I went, "That's it. Portsmouth are being relegated. Blah blah.
Season's over.
The season's over." Then one of their players went,
"They hated you.
You can't come to our playoff.
Hated you.
Have a front row ticket to our playoff game." And I went, "Okay, Portsmouth. If you make the playoffs, I will come to Portsmouth to watch it." They made the playoffs, and I had to drive to Imperial.
Yeah.
So
they hated you. They absolutely hated you.
But I think Teb's handled it well, and like Portsmouth are a team that are sort of always engaging with us now. And,
100%.
Really, like it worked out really well. In
the fact that he drove to them, like the fact.
I think if Tebs had been right, and like that was probably an unsalvageable situation. You know, like they had been relegated.
It wasn't a man down to London.
What was the man, the myth, the legend?
It is.
What are you doing, Sam? What are you talking about? Right, well, I've got to commentate. I've got to commentate your game this week. No,
can't say anything against Sam Chance. All right.
Nothing. No, I'm not having this.
This is we're literally.
That's not what we do, Tebs. That's not how we behave at Sport Tank, all right?
You know what? If you even think it, that's what'll happen. If you even think it. Mate, this is literally just reminding you, like you talking about your trip down to Imperial. I've got to go to fucking London on Sunday.
So have I.
I've got to watch the Wolves play, don't I?
It's not this Sunday.
Is it next Sunday?
It's the 3rd of September. 3 Sundays.
Oh, that's good because I'm in Guildford on the 2nd anyway.
Oh, good.
Oh, thank God. All right. I better tell that to the missus that we're not going to be home until a reasonable time. But yeah, because I made the bet with Micah that if the Wolves make the playoffs, I've got to I'll go watch them play in London because I assumed the Warriors would finish top at the time. So yeah, I got to go watch the Wolves. Got to go watch the Wolves play London on the 3rd. Thank God it's not this week.
Right, so let's get into Div. I want to get out of here.
Tips. Who are you picking?
For what?
Are you picking the Glads or the Dreadnoughts?
He said both.
I'll pick the Gladiators.
You're picking the Gladiators. Okay.
Yeah,
shame.
You and Martin have both picked the Gladiators.
Same. Tebs hates Portsmouth.
Tebs does hate Portsmouth.
Right. Highland Stags versus the Chester Romans.
Shall I go and put my Portsmouth Destroyers jersey on?
No. I just want to get through this.
We'll
We are about 40 minutes over what I would have been lights.
Yeah, well, I was half an hour late, so that makes sense.
Pissing me off. I want to go inside.
Right, Highland, Chester.
I might just leave you two.
Highland, Chester.
Highland.
Chester going to this game.
Yes.
We're assuming that Chester is travelling to the game.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You can't. What are you trying to do? Call
Well,
like
no, they had the GoFundMe. I don't know if it worked.
every team in the playoffs seems to have a GoFundMe at every level.
But no, because
all we're saying is, Tebs, who's going to win when those two teams play?
He's got a fair point though, because last year the team that was supposed to travel to Highland didn't go.
I'm not trying to be a penis. If the game's not being played, I'm not going to pick it, am I?
Well, you're still going to pick
okay,
because
you picked
the Stags
and we'll
by
ask
default
kick
because
off
the
on
other team
Sunday, we'll
wins.
say, Tebs, who's going to win this game?
Okay,
No.
you do that. You do that.
Pick a team.
So if the game's not going to be played, it's because Chester pulled out, so you'd pick the Stags to win anyway.
No, I'm sorry, I can't be drawn on a hypothetical game.
Oh, fuck off!
It's not even it's a scheduled game.
It's on here. It's on the fixtures. Highland or.
How about you two calm down? You ever think about that?
That's not how we do things here on a Monday night rundown.
Sick of that cunt, man. Right.
You got to stop doing that to him. It's funny.
The Uniball rundown's a better show, better produced, and better people on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's got much better people than we've got. You guys want to be there and are interested in talking about it. I just moan about stuff in the game, and I don't want to waste my Monday nights anymore.
Mate, I chose to sit on the fucking A66 as opposed to do this show, so I don't know what the fuck you're on about.
Why is SJ telling me to get a grip? He's on the Uniball run that dick. Chester Roman. SJ, you're on the Uniball show. Shut up.
Pick a team.
Chester.
Right. Roman. Okay. You said
who have you picked? Surely you picked
100% Stags. 100%. Let's go, Highland. March into the Prem.
Next game. Glasgow Tigers versus the Scunthorpe Alphas. That is
that's a good game.
I'm taking the Alphas.
I'll go first. I'm going Alphas.
I'm taking the Alphas as well.
Are you?
Yeah, 100%. Mate, Alphas.
Shame on you, Tebs. Shame on you.
No, you're not bullying me out of this one, mate. I'm going Alphas.
Fair enough. Okay. I genuinely thought that this one would be a split.
You're right. Your Scottish bias is showing, Tony.
Yeah.
The Tigers aren't that good.
Scotland football shit. Right.
He's on.
Clip that, you bunch of cunts.
No, fuck. What are you going to that game for, Tony? Get on your fucking bike now, up to Highland. Fuck the Glasgow game off. Go see Highland play.
Right. O's Knights, London Olympians versus the Rushmore Knights.
I'm taking Rushmore.
I'm taking Rushmore.
I'm taking the Olympians.
Cool.
They're not that good. I'm hoping like this Rushmore, right? I've had a love-hate relationship with you for years now. Predominantly because of your old head coach. Do not let me down. Okay? I'm asking for something here.
Watch the Knights against the Cheaters. They weren't good.
I'm asking for a big W from you, Rushmore. You've got the GB MVP in your backfield.
Oh.
Right?
And he just the best.
Just give him the ball. Give him the ball 35 times. Run all over the fucking Olympians. Like put up 50. Just I'll stop talking shit about you. I can't promise that. But
depending on who plays at QB and middle linebacker, what for the Knights is he talking? Kwame or the O's?
But I just move on. I'm just asking for a favour here, Rushmore. Rushmore, I'm asking for a favour here, all right? Do us a solid.
Dear Rushmore.
Do us a solid.
Tammy will be there. Cool. I'll be there. We'll be there live streaming that one. I'll be there live streaming that one. Tebs is going to the Blitz, Finsbury Park. Oh, right. So he's talking about the O's. Okay, moving on. London Blitz B versus the Bournemouth Bobcats.
This one's at home. I'll happy to go. I'll go first if you want. I'm taking the Bobcats.
Okay.
I'm fully on the Sam Chance gravy train. Like I'm fucking driving it. I'm hanging my head out the window as it goes past. Fucking that weird cunt on TikTok who puts the camera on. He has a weird angle.
Yeah. What's his name? He's got a posh name, isn't he?
Yeah, that guy. But he's watching me as I drive the Sam Chance gravy train up and down the tracks. So let's go to the Bobcat.
What does he ask for? He says, "Can you give us some signals or sounds or something?"
Yeah, he asked for something. Yeah,
tones.
He asked for something, and I'm giving it to him.
Tones. Is that what it is?
Tones. Yeah, give us some tones.
Give some tones.
Mate, I'm giving him all the tones as this gravy train goes down the tracks. Unstoppable.
Okay, Tebs.
Blitz B.
I am going Bournemouth Bobcats, having seen them play numerous times this year, and also like that culmination of what they've led up to in the playoffs, man, into the postseason. They're a team on fucking fire, man, and their defense is tremendous.
This is the only team that I'm okay with beating the Bobcats, because I'm kind of like in the closet, and like I want to see the Blitz B just piss on everybody's parade because they can't get promoted. So yeah. I'm a little bit like, yeah, just go beat everybody, ruin their day.
Yeah, but no, I'm going Bobcats. They've been very nice and hospitable to me. They bought me a carrot and some water, but they also, which I don't think I mentioned last time, they bought my 3 boys 3 packets of sweets and 3 fruit shoots, and I thought that was very nice of them.
So Rushmore, when you're hosting Steve this week, can we make sure that Steve gets another carrot?
It's the O's hosting me this week.
The O's are hosting. Oh, I'm not going to fucking ask them anything. They'd get you a bang average carrot. They get you a bang average carrot from a shitty greengrocer. Right.
I don't want a carrot. That's it. We're done. Let's go to bed.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is it just D1 and D2 wildcards? Is it?
Yeah. There's nothing Prem until September 3rd now.
All righty. Well, best of luck to all the teams playing.
Break a leg.
Yeah. That's a bit on the nose after this week.
Sorry, I come from showbiz.
Yeah, if you've got Steve there, if you see Steve at Olympians Park this week, make sure to give him a carrot. If you see Tibbs at
Finsbury Park.
Finsbury Park. If you see Tibbs at Finsbury Park,
don't stab him.
Yeah, make sure to, I don't know, give him something. Give me a haircut.
What do you want, Tebs? What?
Yeah. What do you want from the masses, Tebs?
What do I want? Is I don't want to go to
bread.
Finsbury Park. That's what.
Give him a loaf of bread, and then they just end up with loads of bread, and it'll be funny.
No, but not loaves of bread, just individual slices.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, that's even better. Yeah, loads of different slices of bread.
One person, so he can, and then someone give him the bread bag, so he can take his own homemade loaf.
And do you want to walk from the car?
Yeah, no, I'm fully aware.
I'm pretty sure that the ground is a car park.
I've been there numerous times, and you can park quite close to it, but you'll be able to. I'll speak to them. We'll try and get you, VIP access to the bottom of the steps that you need to go up to the roof.
Wow.
Can we campaign for
and it will take
3G? Surely we want better turf than 3G there,
mate. We want 5G. I want to make sure I get full coverage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Kwame doesn't know shit about coverage, so he can only ask for 3. And on that note, we'll see you later.